Hello everybody. Today I've got my hand on Luminar 3. So this is the pre-order phase, which the software will be coming out in I think it's December 18. And if you can get a good deal on this right now, lots of bonuses. If you want to, I'll try to put a link in the description below so you can go and have a look and maybe have an extra $10 discount if you're interested. And this is the well anticipated Luminar 3 with a library. So I would like to go over what this looked like today and how to use it quickly and give you a well-rounded overview so you can decide for yourself if you want to invest money into this great software or maybe give it as a gift for Christmas, who knows. So let's dive right in. Okay, so now you're looking right into the library in Luminar 3. So this is the major game changer in my opinion, where now you can go take a look at your images, you can import, export images straight from there. So right now you're looking at my trip in Mexico. So I have taken 1,814 pictures so far, and you're just looking at it right now. So this is great. It's easy to use. It's easy to take a look at a thumbnail. You can make them in 4 different sizes. You can go from small. If you want to press the plus key there, you can make it bigger till you reach the desired size for you. If you press tab, then just like Lightroom, you end up having your whole library showing, and tab bring it back. So if you want to change that here, right here, you can show the side panel or not. So I mentioned Lightroom. If you're a Lightroom user, you'll be able to pick Luminar 3 very easy. It's similar, the keys are pretty much the same. If I do press on this whale photo, I can press the G key to go back to the main grid here. And there's a lot of similarities between the two. So it's a great feature, which is super easy to navigate. It's well built, and it's very easy to move things around. So let's quickly take a look at what's on the right here. So you get your library tab, you get an edit tab. If you choose to edit this photo, you're back to what Luminar had to offer in the past. So nothing have overly changed between this version and the last update of Luminar 2018. And what I mean by that is the actual filters and module here are more or less the same of what I can tell anyway. So you have the sky enhancer, so that's based on the last update they've had for this. So what you're looking at right now is Luminar 3 and the second version in the pre-order phase. So they're fixing bugs as we go. So if there's something funky that happened today, well, it's probably going to be fixed by the time you purchase the software. So the last little tab here, you get the info tab, you get your Instagram and your information. And then if you want to export your image, so far we can do SmugMug, 500px, and Flickr, send it by email and so forth. Or you could open your image in a few different software you have on your computer. So let's go back to your library. We're going to go back. If you want to go back to your grid, you can press G, or you can go around here on the top. You have this little arrow pointing up, and that brings you straight back to your library. Another thing that I really like about Luminar 3 is how easy it is to rate your photo. So let's say I get those iguanas photos. If I want to, I can click on it, and then right there you'll see you have your image. Now if I were to go and put all the other options here, you can have the choice of rating them by colors, and you get keypads numbers, so 6, 7, 8, 9 will be giving the corresponding color. So if I press 9, it will become a blue color ones. I can add to my favorites. So if you go on the top right here, you'll see you have photos that will, in the shortcuts, that will show in your favorites. You can, if you want, reject the photo, or you can give them a star rating. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, give them a 5 stars and so forth. If you don't like this image, you can move them to the trash area. So you're probably wondering, what's the trash area? Well, let's just try it. I send this photo to the trash. It's no longer into my library. Now, as you can tell, I only have 4. If I go to the trash, now I have this image there. Now, if you didn't like this image, then you can say empty the trash or only delete that one. But if you made a mistake, you put that one back to where it was, and now we're done. So you gotta go back to, in this case, my Mexico folder. And then if I scroll down, my 5-star rating image, here it is. With the blue, it's back in here, okay? Another easy way is you can choose by holding Shift and clicking on the last one. And if you want to, you go around here into image and set flags, rating, or color labels. In this case, I will rate these one all blue dots. So it's easy to do a batch of photos and give them a rating. So that's a great feature. It's flawless, super easy. So if you want to go take a look at those images, in the top right here, you can see you get showing all photos. Now what I can do here is go and I want to go to the blue. And then it'll show me all the photos that have blue. So now I have these iguanas and I have those nice doors from San Sebastian, a nice little town, very old school doors. And yeah, this is how you can label them. So if I want to take those out of the blue. So once again, you can go to image, set color, none, and then it's only showing the blue, which are my doors. Now we're gonna go back, we're gonna go to all photos, and now we're showing every single photo. So because I had this one selected when I was showing the blue, when I opened my library again, it went straight to this image. Just another way to go back straight to the image that you want to edit. You can also change the order of your library by all the options that you're seeing here. Ascending, descending, capture time, and so forth. All right. So we're back to good old Mexican photos. Now I did a little real estate gig here, which I went ahead and selected all of orange dot 4, and I created an album. So you can create albums if you want. So that's my El Roble album. As you can tell, all of these have been selected and put there. So it's easy for me to find them once I want to go and edit them in the future. So if I want to, I can go back to my, let's say, Vancouver folder this time. And then we're gonna go around, select these one, and I'm gonna create a new folder. Sorry, not a new folder, a new album. And then I'm gonna call that statue Vancouver with no B. And here we go. Now I have a folder if I want to go back to of those statues in Vancouver. You can right click on this and you can delete. I usually want to delete this album, and it's now gone. Now the photos are still there, but your album is gone. So if you want to add photos to Luminar 3 or new folders, it's very simple. Once you first get Luminar 3 open, it'll ask you to choose a folder. So if I want to, I can go to my photos here, pictures, and my 2018, and I can choose a different folder if I want to. I can choose my Victoria photos and then add them to the folders, and I'll picture of me and Rachel just happened there. So those are the folders if you want to remove this folder once again, and then we can remove this from the catalog, and now remove folder, and the folder is gone. Your photos are still in your computer. We're just removing the images from your library into Luminar 3. If you want to add photos, you're going to press the plus here. Sorry, we're going to go back to the top one, import images to, and then you're going to choose your folder. Let's say Mexico. And then I'm going to go to my memory card, which is in the computer right now. And I will choose some of the last images here. They're not that great, but it's just a great quick image that I took just to show you. So it'll give me a preview, and I'm going to go import to folder. And then if I go back to Mexico, this is the photo that I just imported. So this is how you can import your photo. Now, I don't really like this. I'm gonna press X. I'm gonna reject this photo. And then what I can do after that to erase everything, this is my workflow. I'll go to my rejected. I will go after that to move to trash by moving all these, right click, or you can do command and delete and go to my trash and then empty the trash, and they will be all gone. Okay, so let's go back to all my photos, and let's go a little deeper. So I was talking about the catalogs. So the way Luminar works, so let's say I'm going to choose this image here, and I decide to do some editing. So you're going to go to my edit tab we just discussed, and I'm going to do some changes to it. So we're going to brighten the exposure, maybe add some contrast, and bring the highlights down for the sky, maybe add a little sky answer filter, and let's say I'm happy with this. Perfect. Now we're going to go back to my library. I'm going to press G to make it back. And as you can tell now in the top left corner, I have this little image that showed me that this image has been edited. Now I can go to recently edited photo, and those are my recently edited photo that I've done with Luminar 3. So what's happening here is these photos, once you edit them, you don't edit the image straight on the original raw files that you have on your computer, or the JPEG, whatever format you have. So our catalog, the way it works is Luminar 3 have its own catalog. So if I go there, I'll go catalog's the first tab in the file menu here, and I'm gonna go with show in Finder to show you. So you can create separate catalogs. So here's my Luminar catalog, and it shows like 836 KB, so it's a small catalog at the moment. So what's a catalog is every editing that you do in Luminar, you'll be creating a virtual copy of with the editing that you do. Now you're not affecting, it's a non-destructive way to actually work on your image. So all of these copies will be put into your catalog. So as you edit more photos, your catalog will grow in size. So same principle with Lightroom, the catalogs will be growing as you edit more photo, introduce more photo into Lightroom. So the same thing will happen in Luminar, more photos will be in there, and that size here will grow to maybe 1-2 gigabytes. I'm not too sure how big it will grow because it's a fairly new system here with the library. So something we'll keep an eye on. In any case, what I can do here is with my catalog, I can open a new one. I can switch between catalogs if I want to. Depending on what type of workflow you have, you may have just the one catalog, you can do a catalog per year, whatever the case might be. I just want to point out that you can switch between catalogs, and you can back up those catalogs or restart backup of a catalog. Okay, so that was a little technical perhaps, but this is how it is. So let's just keep working with the menu here, and we'll just go through this. So when you edit, basically that's for the editing tabs. If I were to edit my image, go back to edit in here, then all these options now become available. So in this case here, I have my editing photo we've done here. Then we're gonna go back to the library. In the library, we can create new folder, new album. You can set your rating, like I was explaining. You can rotate, flip, do some adjustment, copy adjustments. So you can do one adjustment to this image and copy the adjustment to the other image if you want to, save you some time. And you can create album once again. View, that'll show you basically the sidebar, L for library, D for edit, info, so little shortcuts. And then they'll show you like little things that's gonna come back from if you move certain things from and tailor your library and your Luminar window, then this is where you get to change all of this, the color in the background and so forth. And we have the full screen preview, which is fantastic to see if your image is good or not. And then you can zoom in there to see if it's nice or not. F bring you straight back to Luminar. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. So if I go back to my Mexico photos, we're gonna move away from the rejected to all photos. So something you'll have to keep in mind is the showing, sometimes you'll have to go back to. And then if we press on this, this is how you add photos, or how to add folders. And then quick image for quick edit. So if I do this, you can open an image which is not into your library, just for quick edit, and that'll work like if you work like have Luminar as a plugin. I'll show you in a second. So this is to bring from one image back to the whole gallery. This is showing you your folder you're in. This is for your side panel right here, show it or not, and this is to change the size of your thumbnails. So this is pretty much a gist of it, of what you'll get in Luminar 3 and how it works. I really like this altogether. Now the question is, that still work as a plugin, or can you use plugin in Luminar? So if I were to choose a bracket image of an HDR, let's say this cool little place with brewery we've been. So if I choose, let's say 5 images to do an HDR with, you could right click. At the moment, there's a bit of a bug in here. If I go and open it or HDR, it will open one image at a time. I'm sure that's going to be fixed where we can move a bunch of photos together to create brackets to create an HDR photo. Again, this is only the second version in the pre-release, but I'm certain that that's going to change and it's going to be fixed. But something you'll be able to do in the future. And so this is great. So you can use different type of plugins. You have a different Skylum product. I'm sure you'll be able to move these photos to your favorite software. Now, if I go to Lightroom, if I wanted to, what I could do is still right click on an image in there and then use Luminar 3 as a plugin. As you can tell, I've been using Luminar for a few years now. It's a great plugin. It's been introduced in my workflow years ago and I really like it. So I can go and press edit in Luminar 3. They'll create a TIFF copy with Lightroom adjustment. And then we're gonna open Luminar 3 as a plugin. So what I mean by that is, if you take a look here at the bottom, I have Luminar 3 that just open here, and I have Luminar 3 open here. So this is the standalone version, and this is the plugin version. So the image that I took from Lightroom, I created a copy. Now it's been sent to Luminar 3. As you can tell now, there's no options to do a library. The menu is way smaller. All I have with this is the editing and filter portion of Luminar 3. In the standalone version, I create my own workspace. So Manuel's workspace is the one that I chose instead of the professional one. For me, I have what I like. And it's very easy to do, by the way. I can quickly show you. You choose your filters. Whenever you have your filters, you do save as a new workspace. You give it a name. And if you want that to be the default workspace that open when you go on the edit tab, you set as default. So this is what I've done here. So I got my own workspace, and this is basically what I have. So if I do whatever adjustment that I want to, it's just a little bit more of this. I just do this very quickly now. I don't even paying attention too much what I'm doing. So let's say we like it this way. We're gonna apply the changes we've done, and then the plugin version of Luminar 3 will be shutting off, and then we'll be transporting this photo, the TIFF photo, into your Lightroom catalog library. So here it is. So I have now this copy that I just created, and I went from this to this from Luminar. So you can still use Luminar 3 as a plugin, or use it as a standalone version with your own library. So hopefully this helped a lot if you were questioning about purchasing Luminar 3. And for me, I think this is a game changer. Lightroom was primarily what people were using. They dominated the market for years. There've been a few more competitors that showed in the last few years, like Pictorial, so one that come in mind. And now with Luminar 3, this is flawless. It's working great. There will be some improvement in the next few months for sure. And this will become a super solid platform to work on. And you can have a one-time purchase with upgrades probably every year, or depend, like Skylum will decide what the upgrade prices will be, but there will be upgrades that are available for cheap. So we're talking about like maybe $60, $50 to buy the actual software as is right now in the pre-order. Perhaps the price will go up a little bit, but we're always under $100. And to do the upgrade, it costs you less than half the price usually, and then you can have the latest version if Luminar 4 will come, but you have free updates whenever your version that you bought, whenever they fix certain things, you get those for free. So one-time purchase versus a subscription base, major difference. You can work with layers. If you're not familiar with Luminar, it is very complex. There's lots to it. There is like filters, there's layers, there's blending modes, there's tons of stuff. You can replace your skies, you can make So it's not quite Photoshop, but there's a lot of like feature that people use in Photoshop. You can use in Luminar, you can fix your photos, there's so much you can do. So I want to do a full tutorial how to use all of this, but I just want to emphasize that you have lots of power and editing tools along with the library now. So it's a major game changer in my opinion. Combine that with our HDR and you have like a combo of two software. That's it. That will be so powerful for like $100 bucks. It's amazing. So in my opinion, this will draw lots of people to Skylum, and that's a major upgrade. So here you have it. Hopefully that was useful. If you have any questions or you want me to cover anything about Luminar or HDR, do a little bit more of tutorials or anything like that, leave that in the comments below and I'll do what I can do. You can also subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if you didn't like this. And once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.